Good morning, ladies. The cows are extremely happy. We just moved them out onto the hayfield last night, got all the hot fence put up, and opened it up and let them out. And they've been eating on this grass ever since. We actually have quite a bit of work to do on the farm today. So, living on a farm with 11 children, we obviously watch our money very closely. We live on a tight budget, and with the rising costs of food and utilities and just everyday living, we've been looking at ways that we can save money. So I've never been a huge fan of having a bunch of pigs because they stink. I grew up with pigs, and it's just they have a lot of stink involved. But we've come to the realization we probably should get a few pigs to butcher just to help with the cost of meat. Of course, where I grew up is down in swamp territory, so the ground's a lot muddier and everything. Where we live now, the ground's a lot higher and drier. So Kate actually started on this last night when I was working on the cow pasture, and she's got a couple panels put up already. We're just going to build a small pen temporarily because we should be getting pigs here in a couple weeks. So we're going to go ahead and just build a small 16 by 16 pen to put the little guys in, and we'll expand as needed. Of course, another way we save money is by baling our own hay. We originally started cutting our own hay because the amount of money we were going to pay in land taxes we could buy our hay equipment for, and then we could get ag exemption on our farm. And so it seemed like a no-brainer to me. We either pay the money to the government or we put it into our farm, into hay equipment. So that's what we did. We started cutting our own hay and selling it, and until we got the cows, and now we just bale our own hay and keep it for the cows to eat. So that's a huge help because grain costs are ridiculous right now as well. So we can give the cows hay as well as they're grazing on the hayfield and on their back pasture, but we can supplement with hay, and that helps cut down our costs of cow feed. Are y'all looking for something to eat? I know what you're wanting. Nothing beats good old-fashioned greenery, does it?
Smaller than this for a pan, and it's got two big pigs. Mommy put them on the inside.
Well, everything is in place. I just need to get a little bit of tie wire now and secure everything where we put the zip ties, and that's done. Well, our next project for today is installing a clothesline. So we have been seeing our electricity bill go up every single month, and this past month is higher than it's ever been. Now, we recently took our stove off, and we now have a gas stove. But the next big expense, I believe, is a dryer. With 13 people in our house, we do a lot of laundry. So we're going to install a clothesline, and that will hopefully help with our energy costs. So let's get started on that. Okay. Can you hold that pole for me? We're on that side over there, that way you're not in the way.
It's fine, I can drive my tractor. I'll drive it over.
You want to come around? We should have probably left. Back up. I want to breathe that stuff. Let's check. Hear the air bubbles coming up? Okay, here. Well, our main frame's done. So what we did was we got 2 of these pressure treated 4x4 by 10s, and we put them about 4 foot in the ground, 3.5 foot, 4 foot. And then I got some 2x6 and made these 4 feet each section. So I used an 8-footer on each side, and then I just added some 2x4 blocking in between just for a little extra strength. I mitered the edges just for aesthetics, but that's pretty stout. And then we did a 1.5 bags of concrete, so about 120 pounds of concrete per side, and that's it. Now we're going to go ahead and put our eye bolts in and stretch our cables. We're just not going to stretch them tight today. We're going to give it a day or so to let the concrete cure, and then once the concrete's cured, we'll come back and just tighten up the turnbuckles that we have. So let's get that part done. So I just pre-drilled these and stuck eye bolts in. So we did 3 eye bolts. And they're about 18 to 20 inches apart. And I'll do the same thing on that side real quick. And this is what the cables will come between. One thing I didn't think about in the beginning that we're gonna have to do, and it's nice because we can walk underneath this, it's high enough. One thing I'm gonna have to do is add a guide wire on each end. So attach a cable here and run it down somewhere right in here just to bring some tension on the back, mainly because this wood 4x4 has got some spring to it, and even once it's hardened, it's gonna want to pull in with, I mean, this is 45 feet, so we've got almost about 140 feet of clothesline here on these 2 poles. So it's going to be a lot of weight with wet clothes. So we're going to go ahead and just do an anchor of some sort down here and a cable just to help with the tension and keep these guys tight. Well, I ended up running to the hardware store and grabbing these anchors, these ground anchors, auger style. I'm going to put one of those on each side. I also got some of these saddleback clamps for the cable. I don't really like how these crimp-on deals. Now, I don't have the proper crimping machine, but I crimped them pretty good with pliers, but they still seem a little bit sketchy. So I'm going to throw a saddle clamp on each one of these just for a little extra protection, and then we'll do this auger. I haven't decided yet. I don't want to get it too far because I don't want it to be a trip hazard for the kids, but I'm thinking 3.5 feet should give me enough angle here to offer plenty of support. So I just connected my guy wire into this eye hook here, brought it down, and attached it with a turnbuckle here to the anchor going down in the ground. I didn't film it because it's pretty straightforward, but yep, that's it. Well, our final project for today is washing the old Polaris. It's been a while since it's been cleaned, and it gives me a perfect opportunity to talk about today's sponsor, and that's our friends at Super Clean. Super Clean offers a wide variety of different cleaning products. One of my favorites is the tire cleaner. This stuff is amazing. You just spray it on the tires. They can be dry or even damp, it doesn't matter. I prefer them dry, but just spray it on, let it sit for about a minute, and then just rinse it off with a water hose, and it cleans the tires just like brand new. You can already see it going to work. Look at the dirt that is pulling off. That is amazing. So it cleans away the grime, brake dust, everything. If you've not tried out Super Clean products, I highly recommend you go and check them out. You can get them at most big box stores. You can also go to superclean.com for a list of all of the locations that sell their products. So we've been using Super Clean products here on the farm for probably 8 or 9 months, and I am super happy with them. Every time we use it on something new, you always want to try, especially the cleaner and degreaser, you want to try it on an inconspicuous area because it is very powerful stuff and it will take the finish off of some things. So you'll want to check it in a certain area that's not going to get seen very often to make sure it's going to be safe to use on that product. But it's the strongest, most powerful cleaner I've ever used. And I've even used a lot of different tire cleaners, and most of the time they don't take off very much of the dirt. Especially if it's been on there for a while, but this Super Clean takes the dirt right off, as you can see behind me. Let's get the water hose and we'll rinse it off. Looks like new. You can't even tell we were driving around out in the cow field last night with all that cow manure on the tires. It cleans it off perfectly. Please be sure to check them out. Like I say, superclean.com for a list of all of the locations that they sell their products. You'll be very happy that you did. That's going to wrap today's video up. We thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Super Clean for being a supporter on our channel. We'll see you next time.